Okay, well, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little embarrassed because I thought I knew what I was getting, but ended up realizing that it's nothing like what I expected. Recently, I picked up the Boker Plus 3-bladed Japanese Army penknife, and this is under their history knife and tool line. Didn't even know Boker Plus did that, but they do. I just saw it at a glance. It totally looks like something from the World War II era. I was like, oh, I didn't even know Japan made, a little multi-tool for their soldiers. I love World War II. I'm going to snag that thing and I'm going to pick it up. And it's based off of the Japanese, and I know I'm going to butcher this. Let's see here. The Higonokami. I know I'm butchering that. Blade style with just a folded piece of metal and then blades, but usually it's just a one-bladed penknife apparently. I thought, I'm like, here we go. That I can kind of do a cool segment about history. I love history. I love World War II and just that whole era. I love the movies, the documentaries, the how did it all occur, the lead up both in Europe and in the Pacific, and then all that happened, and then, the finalization and wrap up. I mean, it's set up basically the next, what would that be, 70, 80 years almost now, of history is what occurred during that time. And just a brutal time, but also a time of innovation, a time that really set up the world stage for what we now know and live in today, and the struggles that we've seen throughout the 20th century. And so when I saw this, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. This will be cool, kind of like, competitive with maybe some Swiss Army knives. It didn't exist. It is not something that ever, from what I can tell, was ever issued to the Japanese Army at any point in time. It's just that style, and then Boker kind of did a cool, different take on it, idea. And so, right again, I'm going to tell you, it's not a good tool. Once I realized that this was not an actual replica, and it's just kind of like we took some ideas from that era, and then we made our own stuff. Okay, fine. That's disappointing, but, is it worth still messing around with? Not really. It's really light at under 2 ounces. It's made out of 440A steel made in China. And it's going to run about $20 to $25, depends on where you pick it up. About a 2.5-inch blade for each one. Now, going into it, I'm like, well, maybe it'd be perfect for, like to carry in your front coin pocket of your jeans or slacks, or throw in like a mini survival kit or EDC kit instead of, packing out with a big fat multi-tool or, big fat Swiss Army knife. Well, it's a friction-held design. Got the cool olive drab. Again, it just looked like something from the World War II era, so I was like, oh, I'll buy it, and not thinking and not actually researching before I did it. So it definitely looks like it. Let's go through here. Well, I'll just say, like, the friction is not good. I mean, they're swinging all over the place. If you do one at a time, it's okay, but the more I've used it, the looser and looser they get, and there's nothing you can do to tighten it. There's no screw or anything like that. The saw, let's just dive right in with the saw. The saw, because there's no real friction and it's just so loosey-goosey, you really can't, unless you're doing a lot of down pressure, and because it's 2.5 inches, you're just not really going to get a lot done with it. You're definitely not going to do delimbing, very minor notching, but there's just way better options out there that I'll allude to in just a moment. So the saw, kind of disappointing, doesn't really get a lot done. Then you have a reverse tanto plain edge. This was dull as a butter knife. Did not come sharp out of the box at all. I had to put an edge on it. Now, because it's 440A, it's very soft steel. I put an edge on it very quickly, and then I was able to get decent, working done with it. Did fine. I kind of like the shape. It actually has like this little tiny, it's not like a direct reverse tanto. It definitely has like this little belly portion. It would have been cooler if it was like that. But again, the tension is not really there. The grip is fine. You can kind of get like almost 4. I'd say 4, finger grip on it. But, I mean, this is just like flopping around. So, like a quick cut maybe, but there's just better options again. And it doesn't really do anything for me. The only blade that I was actually having a lot of fun with is the Hawkbill hook blade. This one did come sharp, so I didn't really have to do any tuning up with it. And because of the trajectory of the geometry of the edge, curving continuously, really did go through cardboard. Different types of cordage, different things like that. Packaging, it was a lot of fun to use. I'm actually going to try and find just something like this blade to either get as a pocket knife or maybe as an added on, multi-tool. So this was a lot of fun, and I could see some use with this little hook blade. but the other two are almost useless. It's almost not even worth really having, and it would be better just to have the hook blade inside the handle, charge half the price, charge like $12, $15, and be like, yeah, maybe. So little lanyard hole, see again, look at that. It just wants to fall open, lanyard hole. But I mean, as an example here, that version has a blade, a saw, and a little bottle cap opener screwdriver, and I think it's like $21, $22. Obviously made in Switzerland. So, you know, but there's about the same blade length on this Victorinox. This is an Evo, but very similar size. Much better. Better edge geometry, better everything. And then on the tension is better. You know, they got the good tension that you know from Swiss Army, and then the same with the saw. The saw, though it's about the same size right there, because there's tension, it's just a lot easier to use, and you know, you can still get the little notches or different little woodworking that you would do, whereas this one, because of how loose and no tension, it's just awkward and you're constantly like refidgeting and readjusting. So guys, this little tool, I was disappointed that it wasn't an actual remanufacturing of a real tool. From everything that I can tell, if someone knows different, please comment below, but to my knowledge, it does not exist. And then secondly, the fact that it didn't even really function very well, dull, poor materials, and now poor tension all over the place. Just not worth investment. Go with the Swiss Army. Let me know you guys' thoughts, and I look forward to hearing you guys' comments. Thanks for joining me today on this video. Check out the other one popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. Until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.